Welcome back to Kansas Sports Chatter. This is Next Level Talent, a segment where we get to talk to former Kansas high school athletes that are now competing at a college or university in the state of Kansas. And today we go to Wichita State University to talk with volleyball athlete Elinor Engel from Shawnee, Kansas, and out of Shawnee Mission Northwest. Hey, thanks for joining the show, Elinor.
Of course.
For you, what's it like being in Kansas? I know you didn't stray too far from your home after the last 2 years spending time at Central Missouri, but what's it like to be competing back in Kansas?
I love it. I love the familiarity of it and just being around. I grew up in Kansas, so you see Wichita State fans, and I never really thought I would be back here. Really had only been to Wichita a couple of times, so it's really cool to be back in, my home state, playing for almost kind of a home crowd too. It's really awesome.
Go back to high school, Shawnee Mission Northwest. What was it like? Anything that stood out to you and what it was like competing for Shawnee Mission Northwest?
I loved competing for my high school. We had fantastic coaches all around every sports. My high school coach was Susan Speck. She was awesome. Obviously, high school is amazing because you get to play with your friends as well, and the people that you see every day in front of your friends rather than, the club scene. But also, even our other coaches, like our weights coaches and even like our football coaches. My little brother plays football, and funny enough is actually going to Central Missouri where I started at. And I still to this day am in contact with a lot of his coaches because they helped me throughout my career and honestly become the athlete that I am.
Getting to state at Shawnee Mission Northwest, what was that feeling like?
I would say like state is probably some of my best memories from high school volleyball because it's really the first time kind of you're on a big stage like that. And high school volleyball is also, I would say, kind of the closest you can get to the college volleyball in the aspect of you're practicing with these girls every single day. You're playing games every single week. In club, it's, there's a tournament one weekend and you only have practice 3 times a week. So, being with those girls all the time and also going to school with them, finally, like being able to be on a big stage at a state tournament with them was fantastic, amazing. I like some of my best memories.
You mentioned Coach Speck. Anything that stands out of your time in high school that was really good advice or a technique that you learned in high school that has carried you forward to the success that you've had at the collegiate level?
Her mindset and competitive nature was really inspirational for me because I always found myself super competitive and outwardly competitive a lot, sometimes more than other athletes that I was around at the high school level. And she always encouraged me to that was important and that's going to stand out in the college level. So anytime I ever am kind of feeling like I'm losing my mental state of competitiveness, I always kind of think back to her and I hear her voice in the back of my head.
Fast forward a few years, like we mentioned, it's a couple of years at Central Missouri, now back at Wichita State University. You mentioned the excitement of being back and playing in your home state, but what else went into that recruitment on why you chose Wichita State?
I am super family oriented and really like to be around my family a lot. So I knew I wanted, and they put so much effort into, high school volleyball, club volleyball, all of this throughout my upbringing. And so I kind of wanted to share my success almost with my family. I wanted them to be able to, on a weekend drive down, come watch me play. And I still also want to go, I still want to go watch my brother's high school games and now college games. So kind of staying close was really important to me for the family aspect.
Now, I know the season hasn't gotten started yet officially, but you can even go back to Central Missouri or even in practice here at Wichita State. Have you had any welcome to collegiate volleyball moments? Like maybe even your freshman year, did you have any moments like, whoa, this is a different level?
Yes. I would say it was most amplified when coming to Wichita because it's just such a faster paced game and so complex. And like of course UCM in Division II was, it's a lot more work, it's a lot more of a grind than high school volleyball ever was, just because of the level. But at Wichita it was just a whole step up. I don't necessarily can't say there was an exact moment. It was kind of just all of it together was kind of it was a bit of a whoa, like, all right, here we are, let's do this.
You still keep up with the Cougars?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not as on top of it anymore, but I kept up a little bit because my brother was still in high school, so it was a lot easier when he is. But I think I'll probably start falling off a little bit on my Northwest knowledge. But
fair enough. Elinor, appreciate the time. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much.
That is Elinor Engel with Wichita State Volleyball out of Shawnee, Kansas, from Shawnee Mission Northwest High School, and that is Next Level Talents on Kansas Sports Chatter.